Hello, welcome to Algorithms. Today we are going to discuss about Open Web Application Security Project Top 10 API Security Risk Areas. So those who do not know Open Web Application Security Project, it is actually a non-profit organization who is contributing in the field of security towards web applications. And they have published top 10 and in different areas of security or different security disciplines related to web applications. First time they published in was 2003, and they are regularly updating their documents. Their aim is to raise awareness about application security by identifying some of the most critical risks that organizations are facing, and their reference material means it is not just they are doing it independently. They are referring to Mitre attack, PCI DSS, defense information system agencies, United States FTC, NIST, and so on and so forth. So it is a good source to get a view of what's happening in the world of web application security, how things are changing, how your organization is doing, and how it varies, because they have properly structured website, and they have proper documentation, so you can go and check how, for instance, if you are in finance sector, if you are in energy sector, if you are in healthcare sector, are there any specific recommendations for your sector? So that could be one of the good point of departure for your organization. If you already have some of the best practices, as they are updating it regularly, you have to make sure that your organization or security team is updating those documents on a regular basis, and there is a sanity check or a security hygiene every year to in order to make sure that those documents are updated, and going back to the tools assessment as well, that tools that you are using, how efficient they are compared to what they have given you in the past, or the kind of output that you have achieved with those tools. So because there are so many dimensions, and things are changing very fast, so you have to make sure there is some good reference point to make sure that you are getting the information from the right source. That's number one. Number two, the right information as well. So best practice could vary from one organization to another, but I just wanted to highlight two things. One is their API best practice, and then those who are not aware about OWASP, I wanted them to I wanted bring this to their attention, so that they can go browse their content, understand web application security from their perspective, and so on and so forth. So I hope I'm clear in terms of my objective. I'm not going to go and read line by line in terms of API security, but yes, I'm going to cover couple of points. So these are top 10 API security risk areas. Broken object level authentication. So we know that APIs tend to expose endpoints, and that handle object identifiers. That also creates a wide attack surface level access control issue. So object level authorization checks should be considered in every function that accesses our data source using an input from the user. Security misconfigurations, injection. So when it comes to injection, we are talking about SQL as well as NoSQL. Improper asset management. So in this case, we are talking about APIs. So if you are changing the version, or if you are making the changes, you have to make sure that you are documenting these changes in a proper way, so that when new developers are onboarded, they can refer those material and they build on top of it, rather than using the past assumptions or old documents. Insufficient logging and monitoring is also one of the common areas. There are so many tools available, especially in the cloud space, whether it is AWS or Azure. I explained AWS tools in my last presentation. You can go and have a look and note down the tools, and then you can go and experiment to a small POC to figure out what sort of insight you get from as is to what what is available in AWS. Maybe you are using AWS tools, but not all the toolkits which I explained in the slide deck. So you just look at those presentations and do some sort of analysis or a comparative analysis, I would say, to figure out where is the gap, and then you fill those gaps. A lack of resources and rate limiting, I think this is a good point, because quite often APIs do not impose any restrictions on the size or number of resources that can be requested by a client or user, because they want to make sure that user get access to what they need, but they become over generous in terms of their implementation. So that has to be taken care in a realistic manner, and this not only impacts API server performance, but this leads to denial of service attacks as well. And I have seen in the past in different organizations that, for instance, department A requests data from department B, and the data sharing method is API, but it's all open, and every time they are running some jobs, it runs very slow, and then it goes to the web applications team to fix it, and so on and so forth. Then it goes back to the database team to run index optimization, so on and so forth. So it's like it's a complete chain, and you lose like couple of days in just these requests and trying to figure out where exactly is the bottleneck and fixing it. But at the end of the day, if you make sure that you are working on a minimalistic approach, that makes a lot of sense, and you have to ask right questions to your users as well, or data consumers, just to make sure that you are giving enough, just enough, not more than that, so that you are not only securing your environment, plus it helps you in terms of performance and SLAs as well. I guess this is it from my side. Thank you very much. Please drop your comments in the comments box, and if you have any specific request, please drop in the comments box that as well, and have a great day.